Hey there folks, welcome back to Kambotrout Fishing. So for today's video, I wanted to give you a quick wrap up of the 1-year anniversary that we just had over at Edgemere Bait Tackle. And after that, I'll get into some other news for the channel, some upcoming tournaments, so stay tuned and we'll go through all of it. To start off, this past Saturday, April 1st, that was the 1-year anniversary of Edgemere Bait Tackle in Sparrows Point. Now it's a big thing for me that as far as I can to support our local lure makers, our local bait shops, our local businesses in general. And over there at Edgemere Bait Tackle, you got a great crew. The customer service is excellent. They have intel for you, and they have a plethora of all different kinds of local lure makers. I could list them off. You'll see some of the names in the video that I overlay here. I'll touch on a few of them later, but it was just great to come together, not only with other lure makers to share our different perspectives and our different experiences, but also to pass on a lot of knowledge and a lot of tips to everybody out there in the community who is either A, into the fishing game, or B, trying to get into it, whether it's snakehead or any other kind of species out there. And on that note, whether you're here for snakehead, striper, panfish, catfish, whatever it is, Brian and the crew over there at Edgemere Bait Tackle will take great care of you. They have the gear, all the terminal tackle, they have minnows, they have baits of various kinds. Go check them out. I'll leave a link in the description. And second point, while I was over there at Edgemere Bait Tackle, one of the biggest points for me, one of the best points of why I was out there, was being able to talk to the next generation. And that's something that I really want to try to put more energy towards this year, is really getting the next generation into the outdoors to appreciate it and enjoy it. So it was fantastic to talk to a lot of, young men, young boys who have really been watching the channel, who are really interested in snakehead fishing. It was great to talk to you. Thanks for coming out. If you ever have any questions, make sure you hit me up in the comment section here on videos. It's the best way to get a hold of me. But if any of y'all have questions out there, again, the best way is probably going to be in YouTube comments on videos. After that, I would say maybe Facebook Messenger. And then at the bottom of the list is my email, which I do check, but not nearly as regularly as I should. So if you want to get in contact with me, keep that in mind. Now let's touch on tournaments. Edgemere Bait Tackle does have 2 upcoming tournaments this year. The first one is going to be from June 24th through 25th, and that's going to be the Youth Division Tournament. And again, I'll leave a link to it in the video description here so you can check out all the details. But it's a wonderful opportunity to get out there, spend some quality time with your kids, and get them into the sport. So hit up Edgemere Bait Tackle for all of your gear, terminal tackle, bait, and I'm sure they'll give you a little bit of intel too. You have to chat them up out there behind the counter. Then later in July, they have another tournament coming up. That's going to be a catfish tournament from July 29th through the 30th. And again, details in the video description. One more tournament I want to highlight, although there's a lot going on right now. Make sure you're following those groups out there. But the one that I do want to highlight in particular today is going to be Virginia Kayak Anglers Elite, VKAE. Now, that is ran and operated by some of my Legion teammates down there in Virginia. Great crew, and the thing I really love about what they're setting up down there, it's a trail series that's really going to bring a next level of fishing to the snakehead game, but it's not just snakehead with them either. They're setting up a panfish division and all kinds of stuff down there. But the other thing about it is that it's a single launch tournament. Now, to each his own, but me personally, I really do like the single launch tournaments going forward for a lot of reasons. I mean, if nothing else, you get to see everyone there and just, kind of talk beforehand, talk after the day. It really brings us together by us all launching at the same point. And that first tournament with VKAE is going to be on April 15th on Aquia Creek down there in Virginia. Now, that is a snakehead tournament, and there are some big ones in there. So I expect it to be a very well-run tournament. Make sure you check them out, and again, link in the video description. Now, last thing I wanted to do was tell you about the video I have coming up for Friday, because I definitely hit a big milestone, particularly with my son on our last outing.
It's a big, there he goes.
Oh, come on!
So I don't want to give away too much, but make sure that you have the subscribe button hit, you ring that bell for notifications, because on Friday, it's going to be a video that means just a lot to me, because seeing my son hit this particular milestone in his fishing journey was huge for me. And B, this video is going to be the first in a series of videos that I'm doing to try to give you some tips on how to get children into the outdoors to appreciate it. And there's so many reasons to do this. Number one, it just gives you a lot of quality time and interaction and coaching that our young men and women need from the more experienced members in our community to get them into the outdoors. We can't take for granted our own appreciation and use of the outdoors. A, we need to preserve it for future generations, and B, we need to create that passion, to inspire our children to really get into the outdoors and take care of it. There's a million reasons to get kids into fishing in the outdoors. Stay tuned for Friday's episode. You'll see what my son and I caught out there. And aside from that, I'll make sure I'm going to pass on a lot of tips for you for how to get your own kids into fishing. But today's video is kind of a short one. Wanted to highlight what we just had going on over the weekend over Edgemere Bait Tackle, some upcoming events, and again, I just want to say it was great to meet everybody who came out. And make sure you're following me over at Kambotrout Fishing on Facebook. That's usually where I post my different events that I have coming up, so that if you want to come out and talk fishing, snakehead, whatever, you can come out. Oh, and on that note, April 15th for me, I'm actually going to be over at the Bay Bridge Boat Show, giving a seminar on snakehead. And after that, sitting on a panel for invasive species here in Maryland. So that should be a very interesting talk over there. I really look forward to it. It's a very necessary conversation, and hopefully we can all come together and find some solutions and share some crucial information. But I think that's enough for tonight. I do want to get some sleep at some point because I have to wake up early for work tomorrow. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And again, make sure you're following me at these different places on YouTube and Facebook so that when I have these upcoming events, you'll be aware of them. All right, folks. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.